Morton Thiokol manufactures the solid rocket boosters for NASA. The rocket boosters are strapped to each side of the shuttle's main liquid fuel tank and provide the explosive force to lift the spacecraft off the ground. These huge rockets are made up of 4 motor segments fitted with solid fuel, designed to be reused after each launch. The joints between each segment have to withstand the vast forces produced during blastoff. Each segment is sealed against the next segment with 2 rubber seals, called O-rings. For the rocket boosters to work, the joints have to function perfectly. When the rocket booster sections are slotted together, the joint is sealed by 2 O-rings. The O-rings are designed to form a seal against the superheated rocket exhaust gases that are produced at incredible pressure during launch. The first O-ring should do the job. The second O-ring is a safety backup. Beaujolais' photos of Flight 51C's joints reveal hard evidence there is a major design flaw. He discovers that hot gas has blasted past the first ring and burned the second backup O-ring. Throughout 1985, NASA has a very ambitious launch schedule. Flight 51C is the first of 9 planned launches, and the pressure is on to keep the shuttle flying. Any delays would ultimately cost money, and jobs were at stake.
They didn't want to hear because I believe they wanted to ensure for the company they would get the follow-on contract that was in negotiations with NASA at that point in time. That contract was worth over $1 billion.
By the time the teleconference starts, launch is just 13 hours away. The success of this mission and the lives of the 7 astronauts hang on one simple question. How will the O-rings react to the cold temperatures predicted for launch the next morning?
At low temperatures, the O-rings are not so elastic. They won't seal properly. It'll be like putting a brick into a crack versus a sponge. The grease, too, will be affected. It will be thicker and not as slick. We will have a higher O-ring actuation time, and if that happens, we will approach the threshold of secondary seal pressurization capability. So we have a situation where neither the primary seal nor the secondary seal will function.
The engineers at Morton Thiokol are confident NASA will stop the Challenger launch. They now wait for the official response.
For God's sake, Morton Thiokol, when do you want me to launch? Next April? You guys are generating new launch criteria here. Joe, we have been flying for 4 years with a known condition in these joints considered and accepted by Thiokol, accepted by me and all levels of NASA management. Think about this. Think about your data.
With their next multi-million-dollar contract still under negotiation with NASA, the Morton Thiokol managers are under intense pressure. At this point, Senior Vice President Gerald Mason intervenes.
Joe, ask him if we can take a 5-minute caucus offline.
Larry, could we take 5 minutes?
We have to make a management decision. Let's look over the data again and consider Larry Malloy's points.
If we launch at the predicted temperatures, we are out of our experience base. Even if we take 40 degrees as the temperature floor, we are still way out of our database. In launching at these low temperatures, we are moving away from goodness.
We're covering the same ground again. We're just spinning our wheels. Let's take a vote. Do we recommend a launch? Joe?
I think it's all right.
The Vice President of Engineering is on the fence, and now he's being pressured to change his mind.
Bob?
Marshall here. Our position is that although Temperature effects are a concern. The data predicting blow-by are inconclusive.
Now, are there any disagreements or any other comments concerning the thiacol recommendation?
The pressure is intense. No one raises any objections, not even Beausoleil. At NASA, the silence means go for launch.
Ron McNair, pilot Mike Smith, followed by Krista Masala, Feature in Space, Ellison Onizuka, and...
The temperature hits 36 degrees, 30 degrees colder than any previous shuttle launch.
Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Control program. Roger, roll, Challenger. Good roll program confirmed. Challenger now heading down range. Roll program. Roger, roll, Challenger. Roll program confirmed. Challenger now heading down range. Engines beginning throttling down now at 94%.
The explosion blasts the shuttle free. It is tumbling through the atmosphere at 1,250 miles per hour. The nose section is torn off. It contains the crew cabin and the 7 astronauts.